I'm coming in hot. I do have a PSA for people who want to have a dog. You were saying you were percolating on the idea, and I don't think anyone ever should.
It feels like the joy is really front loaded.
The joy is front loaded. I'm now currently dealing with 2 old dogs.
Sure. And you just don't, it's too much.
It's too much. And for who and for what? Because old dogs, all they want to do is eat, and they want to go to the vet. Oh, they can't wait to go to the vet.
I guess I'm an old dog.
Woof, woof, bitch.
I love the vet.
It's Stacey and it's Bryan. It's Stacey and Bryan.
I think she married the guy she cheated on me with, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's still together.
It's Stacey and it's Bryan. It's Stacey and Bryan.
I said I wouldn't be caught dead in shorts, but Bryan showed up to my house and I got stuck in traffic at the gym. So here we are, and I'm not changing, and I'm not changing for anyone.
I said I was going to buy new pants, but I just bought the tan version of the last pair of drawstring pants I was wearing.
You know what? I have to say, the drawstring pant is really, it doesn't seem like a drawstring pant. It seems like a regular pant, and I'm almost insulted that I'm kind of getting, I'm not. It's not reading as a drawstring, so I feel like I'm being tricked.
Yeah, I couldn't wear the Birkenstocks because I walked here, and if I walk that distance in Birkenstocks, I'll have to go to get surgery on my ankle.
Yeah, you were adamant about walking in a heat wave.
Yeah.
Because you didn't hit the elliptical.
No.
But you're here, but I think the Birkenstock would have actually been a good look. But yet again, I feel like we're both kind of in a island of misfit toys energy.
Right. I don't care what happens when it's hot like this. There's nothing you can do. You're just trying to survive it. Anyone who looks good in this heat, I just can't understand it.
Oh, people who don't sweat. I sweat the worst in the sense of like, I don't sweat en route, but the second I get there, I'm drenched.
Yeah.
That's when all the sweat comes. Like I have to like calm down.
Yeah. I sweat a lot in the movement. And then I immediately, all my pores just close up and I stop.
So we have the opposite.
Yes.
So, yeah. So that's this. If we were like meeting at like a rave time, we'd probably be ships in the night as far as connecting. You'd be the sweaty guy that I wouldn't really want to deal with. And then I'd be the sweaty girl after that. You'd be like, ew, I can't handle that.
Yeah. It's tough. Tough at the rave when you're sweating because it's also quite dangerous.
To sweat at the rave.
Yeah. When you're that hot. I remember being that hot. And I remember once at a music festival, I was like really sweating, I guess. And a lady came up to me and she was like, "You're steaming. There's steam coming off of you. You should have some water." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Look." And I held up my arm and like with the lights and everything, like I was steaming. And they're like, "This is dangerous. You should have water." And then I did.
That's kind of like a hot sort of, you'd think that she'd be into it maybe a little bit.
No, I don't know. I'm steaming. That was terrible. What a terrible time.
I love thinking about you as a raver.
Yeah. I was in a forest, I went to the Shambhala Music Festival.
The what?
The Shambhala Music Festival, big electronic music festival in BC. You go there and you camp in like a field for 3 days and you listen to electronic music and you're just on death's door the whole time.
Who'd you go with? Like, I imagine your friends were named like Laser.
Oh, no. See, I went
Ramon.
I had a friend at the time. I still think of him fondly, Blake. And he was a very, very, he's got it all figured up. He's a ambitious, successful man. But then he also liked to have a little party, and that was fun. So we went.
This is what I like about that we're doing this podcast, because I'm going to get little stories, anecdotes of your party times, which I really think of quite fondly.
Yeah, I'll only tell the good stories. Who wants to hear the bad?
No one wants to
hear the bad
Save
ones.
that for the memoir, babe.
Exactly. My therapist today was like, "What are you going to talk about sobriety on the podcast?" That's what you go on someone else's podcast to talk about when you get successful.
Is that what your
therapist said?
Well, Bryan, you're fresh off therapy to the pod.
Yeah,
which
that's
I
what
think
I do.
And did you talk about the podcast to your therapist?
Yeah.
Were they interested? Did they think it was a good sort of avenue for us?
Yeah, he is a big advocate for me starting new things.
Oh,
He's like, you gotta start new things. You
I love
love
this.
being comfortable and safe.
I say that to you all the time.
Start new things. Yeah.
I say that to you constantly
Yeah. And I pay a man
to tell you the
to
same
tell
thing.
me the same thing. Yeah.
Wow. That's nice. I won't ask too much. It's a private thing, but I'll be interested to ask you offline how you describe me to your therapist, and I hope it was kind. Young.
I described you as an incredibly. I'll tell you. I described you as. I'm doing a podcast with an incredibly successful
Really?
comedian, and that's good. I was like, that's good. I'm like honored she asked me
Aw.
because she's very successful.
Oh, Bryan.
And he's like, oh yeah.
I could have given a shit.
No.
You should have given him my handle. At least for Instagram, I'm having a lot of fun on there.
I did tell him what show. I did tell him you were on 22,
Oh,
but then I just let that sit, and
You didn't care.
No, I mean maybe he's googling it right now. Maybe he doesn't know. Was he like he's like, you're doing a podcast with Luba Goy? No, that's is she on 20? She knows she's AirPod.
Air farts. We've lost anyone young.
Oh, sorry.
It's an interesting thing when people go to therapy because I'm like naturally nosy, but obviously it's a huge boundary. You like can't discuss therapy, but
I love it
I know, me too.
because people get free. I just give the free advice that he gives me,
Right.
Because I'm just there to be like, hey, why do I do this?
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be like, that's normal. Everyone does that. And I'll be like, fuck you.
But you'd also think a therapist might say, hey, sobriety is part of your story. That might be something to share if you feel so inclined or comfortable. But instead he's like, hey man, nobody wants to hear.
Exactly.
Nobody
He's
wants
like,
to hear that shit.
you're a comedian and a podcast is a performance. Like, why would you get on there and like talk about serious shit? He's like, that's later. Don't do that now.
Just a therapist going, that's later.
Uh-huh.
I kind of live for that.
Yeah. He's only a few years older than me.
Oh, I don't know how about. I don't know if I could do that. I wouldn't like that.
You want an older
What?
person.
Someone who's 42 is going to tell me what to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what's someone with like a 75-year-old man gonna
No, that's too far. I think there's a sweet spot around 60.
56 yeah. Or nothing.
Feels good. Okay, I have to tell you this story because I'm shocked and we needed to discuss Twister.
Oh yeah.
There's no good way to jump into it, but I had an interaction with a man, and I feel like this stuff often happens to me and people think I'm like lying. But after the movie, we went out, a group of friends, for like a drink and like nachos after. And we all went to this like kind of shitty bar where you're like, you don't really want a draft beer. It just was like,
The lines aren't clean.
You want a can.
You'll get that hangover and you're like, that's
Exactly.
bacteria.
you want a can.
Yeah.
So we all crack a can. I crack my can, and the table immediately smells like farts, sulfur, bad. So we think maybe a pipe's burst or something. No, it's my can of beer. It smells like shit, poo, bad.
What kind of beer?
3-speed lager.
Oh.
So
Bad batch of 3-speed.
everyone else's beer was the same as mine. They all smelled fine. And then someone tasted at the table and said, yeah, yours tastes like a little off. So I go, oh, okay. So it's just a skunky kind of can. And the can was kind of dented. So I go to the bar from the table. I don't wait for the server. I go to the bar and I tell this bartender who's like, and it's like this shitty pub where they're like kind of dressed up. It makes no sense. But he was like kind of looking a bit swanky. And he's like, yeah. Already annoyed with me. I'm like, hey, so this beer is off. He goes, well, it's a shitty beer.
Oh.
And I go, okay, well, it's just like, it doesn't taste right. He's like, that's a terrible beer. I would never drink that beer. I'm like, okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love that. But it doesn't taste the same like everyone else has it at the table. I'm like, so it tastes off. I mean, you could smell it or taste it. He goes, I wouldn't taste that or smell that even if it was good. And I said, okay.
Why?
I don't know. He was just roasting me. And I go, can I get a new can, please? And he goes, okay. Then he cracks the beer, Bryan, and it sprayed all over me.
All over you.
didn't-
Not him.
No, and he didn't say anything. And then I just went back to the table.
But it was a better beer, at least.
It tasted fine, but I couldn't believe it. I felt like Josie Grossi. Remember, like Never Been Kissed or whatever?
No, but I don't know that one.
What?
But Josie Grossi paints a picture. I get it.
Drew Barrymore is one of her finest.
Oh, was that the one where she's gets amnesia?
No, it's 50 First Dates.
Okay.
Josie Grossi is, or Never Been Kissed is when she is a reporter and she goes back to high school. Oh. And then she like falls in love with her teacher and we all just kind of allow it. Even though he thinks she's a student and he like becomes attracted to her. But we like let it be okay because he's hot.
But he's being he's attracted to an adult.
We know she's an adult.
But in form as well though.
No.
Like she's an adult. She looks like an adult.
She looks the same as the kids. That's why she's fitting in.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he falls in love with her.
And then finds out.
He finds out.
He falls in love with a child.
And then he feels, okay, this is me just unpacking it now. He makes her feel weird that he's like, I can't believe you lied to me. And it's like, would you rather? She's a teen.
Yeah, this is going to work out for you now. You can date her.
Yeah,
it's
but
fine.
I know,
it's not
but
illegal.
this is what I'm saying. But
Who's the guy?
He's the first manager. The guy from Alias.
Bradley Cooper?
He's not an Alias.
Yeah, he is.
This is the oldest conversation. This is like what
Victor
I imagine.
Victor Garber?
This is what, if someone was like, what's the sound of aging parents? It's this conversation.
There's a lot of.
Well, you've brought your iPad, Bryan, so look it up.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about you getting your getting an iPad. But
you didn't give me your Wi-Fi, but I can look it up on the phone.
oh, I didn't give you your Wi-Fi.
It's okay.
We had a lot of stuff going on. I had to give my dog his sedative.
I watched all of Alias. I had a girlfriend at the time who was deep into it, and she gave me the DVD.
I feel like you love an Alias woman.
Like there are like Bradley Cooper is in Alias, Ron Rifkin, Victor Garber.
I have to see what they look like.
It's Michael Vartan. It's got to be this
Michael Vartan, who's very hot in the movie.
Yeah,
and he falls in love with Drew Barrymore, and she's like exquisite in the film. And never once as a teen did I question the appropriate level that Vartan is into this student. And then they kiss at the end, and she finally gets her first kiss.
She's actually never been kissed.
She's
before.
never been kissed. She's never been in love.
Fuck, that's how it goes.
Oh, I couldn't give it away.
Wow.
Bryan,
What?
we're a mess in the second
It's
episode.
fine. It's fine. That's how it is going to be.
I know it's topics and shorts and burps and.
Oh, I burp. I am like the older I get, this time we're getting old, I'm unapologetically burping
Right.
on a regular basis.
See, I burp, and I just started burping in my relationship, and not that I was not doing it, but there's just something that happens, and my boyfriend Chris, as we know, he goes, "We're doing that."
Yeah.
Like there was that conversation of like, "Oh, we're doing that. You're just doing that now."
Yeah, I mean that's just part of life. The burps, and look, I'm uncomfortable with a lot of farting. I just need to get over that.
You don't like a big farting in the relationship.
I mean, it's not going to say that I don't like it. It's just something that I need to get used to. It's a bodily function that's normal.
Well, you know what? I've been on both sides of the coin. So I've had relationships where we were letting them rip, almost like call the authorities. Like, are these people well? Like, and could you believe we weren't having sex? Could you imagine?
Wow.
And then I've had relationships where we don't, and it's not like, ooh, you're gross, but it's just a sort of like unconscious choice to not. So I've been on both sides. I feel like there's got to be a happy medium, because pretending you don't shit is crazy. Yeah.
No, obviously we're all shitting all the time.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, when my parents, when my dad would want me to feel normal, he would say, you know, even the queen shits, you know, even RIP, but even she had to hold onto the shower curtain and pray for it to end, you know?
Just all that tea.
Yeah, all that tea, and just her corgis like screaming outside the bathroom, you know, come out, come out. But even isn't that crazy to think?
It's crazy to think that she like wiped her ass. That's crazy to think, right?
It is crazy.
Alone in a bathroom.
Alone in a bathroom. She devastated the porcelain. The queen absolutely.
Yeah. After some fucking state dinner.
She let the toilet have it.
Because we all have. It's like it's not even like Queen did, Margaret did, Diana did, the Queen Mother, Camilla.
Beyonce has absolutely screamed at the toilet. And like, it's kind of like, to me, a way for me to go, okay, like we're all on the same, we're all just trying to get through the day.
Yeah. Unless there's some like rich drug you can take that sorts it out. I bet there isn't.
There isn't. So just to know, I mean, here's the thing. We know Charles shits. I mean, God,
tell me about it.
He looks like, anytime I see him, I'm like, he just absolutely screamed at the toilet.
Yeah.
I know you don't really like this kind of talk,
great
but
heavens, stuff like that.
You probably would, not me.
Yeah.
No, wasn't me. Yeah.
But he did.
So if anyone out there is feeling really bad about themselves, just remember that even, Beyonce takes huge dumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did not think that's where we were going to go. I have topics written down on the iPad, and none of those were, imagine all those shits Queen Elizabeth takes.
What are your first topic from your iPad? First of all, I convinced you to get an iPad. Mm-hmm. I love my iPad.
You went, I love my iPad.
Yeah.
I like to wake up in the morning and I like to make a coffee and sit in the corner of my couch and just scroll away.
How beautiful is that?
And that refrain was just in my head when I was thinking about what to do next on my 2017 MacBook Air.
It's not the same.
And there were just keys on the keyboard weren't working.
You needed it.
And so I got the iPad.
But you went big. You went like iPad Air, the biggest they've got screen-wise.
Yep.
You've gone full computer. Like, it looks like a laptop, but there is something stunning about being in robe on the couch or in bed and just watching my stories.
It's luxurious the way you can just hold it.
I know.
And scroll. And
then if you have a lover go, what are you doing? It's like, the audacity of you to talk to me while holding an iPad is egregious.
Yeah.
It's my solo time. And then like, he'll be like, what's on there? It's like, it's not for you. It's not for anyone's viewing.
Yeah, you wouldn't ask that if there was a laptop in the lap. You wouldn't be like, turn your laptop around right now and show me.
I know, turn it around.
Yeah. Or like if you were on the desktop and they're like, what are you looking at?
Exactly.
Get out of here.
I think if you have extra money and can afford a little luxury, getting an iPad, and I like to use it as a laptop as well, but primarily I love it as just my little stories and my little things are on there. I have my magazines on there. I pay for Apple News. I got my People, my Us Weeklies, my Architectural Digest.
And I've just got my chess.com.
My chest?
Chess.com.
Oh, chess.com. I thought you meant like, because I know you're getting beefed.
No. Oh, no, that's chess.
I'm getting into backgammon. That's what I've got at
You're
my
playing
iPad.
Backgammon right now?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can make a lot of money playing backgammon if you get good at it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
People gamble and play backgammon and get if you're good, you can make quite a living.
Well, not right now. I could not, but that's something to put in the back pocket.
I'm the worst chess player on the planet Earth.
Really?
When Queen's Gambit came out, I was like, I'm going to get into chess.
All thought.
I'm going to start playing chess and I'm going to learn all about it. And you have ratings in chess. Like you gain and lose rating points.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone has ratings. And on chess.com, you have a rating. And I have not increased my rating or improved in any way since the finale of Queen's Gambit came out. And I went, let's start a chess.com account. That's
Bryan,
how bad at chess I am.
I don't love hearing about you saying .com so much. I don't love you continually saying chess.com.
Chess.com, baby. What am I going to say? It's chess?
You go, oh, I'm on this site and, you can have ratings. You don't have to be like, oh, I signed up for chess.com because what that reads to me is you got hot and bothered watching Queen's Gambit, okay, with Manic Pixie Dream Girl. And then you went, I'm going to start playing chess. And you Googled chess and that was the first link, chess.com.
Why wouldn't it be? What else would be the first link of Googling chess?
And you went, yeah, let's log into this. Let's get an account going on this.
Yeah, and I've been playing chess, and I got to tell you,
It's not an app on your iPad? You don't have a chess app?
no, it's chess.com, baby. That's what it is. Come on.
It's Chrome.
There is
Type it
no
in.
fouler chat than the chess.com chat.
Oh, like you can play with actual people.
Yeah, you're playing with people from around the world, all over the world.
And there's like shit talking.
And if you like make a move or you lose or something or you beat them, they'll get in a couple of
really?
They'll say some real dark shit to you, and then
Whoa.
the account will get banned. Will start a new one or something like that.
Oh, this really darks me out.
Yeah,
I
people don't like losing at chess.
I don't like you in this corner of the internet.
I'm addicted to chess.com. I don't know what it is.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe and comment below. Are you part of the community?
I mindlessly hit the C key on my keyboard. C, enter. I'm playing chess. I'm in it.
See, enter. What the hell?
C, chess comes up first thing. Enter, chess.com. Click. New 10-minute game.
You know what? I'm going to sign up for chess.com and let's see who gets, by the end of summer, who gets a higher rating.
If you can get, I have never been over 1,030, which is bad.
Okay.
Bad.
Okay.
I've been between 700 and 1,030 for 3 years, never once improving.
Okay, so I'm gonna let's make this a friendly competition for improvement, and if I win, you have to watch Never Been Kissed with Me, and if you win, you can find your own thing that we have.
Yeah,
to do.
I'll think of something. You'll watch Minority Report.
I knew it was going to be like something Minority Report or Oppenheimer or something. So what are your topics that you've got on the iPad?
Well, I wrote down Powerade Zero Sugar because this is what I've really been enjoying.
Okay, let's talk about this. If you're watching, Bryan is drinking a blue liquid that keeps absolutely dripping on his shirt. And do you want to describe what you're drinking?
It's Powerade Zero Sugar Blue. They didn't have the white, so I went with blue. It's my second favorite color.
So Bryan, I was coming from the gym and I was planning on showering and like looking way better for the pod, but it just wasn't in the cards. But Bryan goes, I'm going to walk here. I'll get you a Gatorade. I said, and I don't even think I was responding as I was in traffic, but you show up to my house, not with a Gatorade, with 2 Zero Sugar Blue Powerades.
I find them interchangeable. I don't think they're the exact same drink.
And Bryan had the absolute audacity to say that Powerade and Gatorade are the same thing, which I think is deplorable, despicable behavior.
I don't think I could tell you the difference in a taste test.
Bryan,
No way.
do you think I think you have a palate at all? Chess.com? No.
I don't think I can tell the difference. I don't. It's the same product to me. It's not Coke. It's not Coke and Pepsi. Those
yes,
are
it
different.
is.
Those are different though. But I know
They are literally owned by those
right. But that's what I'm
different
saying
things.
is that the taste is different.
I could literally blind taste test from a mile away, say Gatorade or Powerade. And also, Powerade Blue is just such a male choice.
What would you pick?
It's aggressive. I don't like the look of it. I don't like it in my home. I find the bottle egregious.
What, this or this one as well? I've got 2 of them.
Yeah,
I got you
he
one.
got
If
me
you want.
one
Why don't you
too.
crack open a Powerade Zero?
No, it's like 50% more. No, I don't like the sucking thing. It's just such a male aggressive. It makes me go, what?
Well, what color do you get?
I get lemon lime Gatorade, 0%.
The yellow one.
Yeah.
Yellow.
The yellow.
I mean, I prefer white in all things.
That's crazy.
It's how I would prefer to hydrate 100% of the time would be Powerade Gatorade White, 0 sugar.
I
wish you came out of the tap.
hate everything you've just said. Well, what I like is Powerade Zero, or was it Powerade White Zero?
Yeah, Powerade 0 sugar white.
Powerade Zero Sugar White
I'm
is the name.
I'm never getting full sugar for any of this.
I don't even know what you're drinking or what you're getting out of that because it's not electrolytes.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Well, okay, let's have a look at Abby, you're out of your mind. There's definitely electrolytes in here.
Okay.
We got potassium, sodium, calcium, vitamin C, B, magnesium, electrolytes.
I mean, You're getting, okay, first of all, you're getting 1% magnesium. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's like the main one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Everyone's low on that one, but they're giving you 1%.
Oh, can you believe Powerade Blue Raspberry Zero Sugar is only giving you 1% magnesium? That seems crazy. I do not want to put this in my body. And I put terrible things in my body.
Oh, I love this stuff.
It's really upsetting that you drink that. And I heard you opening up my freezer to get ice for it. I said, what do you think? There'll be an improvement?
I didn't want to suck on the bottle, right? Because
Bryan,
it's a wild sound.
If you...
Like, what if I was just sitting here like this?
No, I don't even, you can't even do it at this friendship will end. No, it's real. You don't want it. Yeah, thank God it's child locked.
Wow.
If you sucked on that, if you casually were sucking on that water bottle, I think I would have asked you to leave.
Like just like this?
Bryan, we got to edit that sound out.
Ugh. It's worse coming out of that thing. Right? It's worse. It's nice with ice.
So what is the next topic?
Twisters.
Oh my God. Let's talk about this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I saw Twister right before Twisters.
Okay, well, I did it backwards. I watched Twisters and then immediately went home after that man sprayed me with my own beer. And then I watched Twister. I had a gummy.
It's amazing. It was reversed, just how we sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about it. First of all, I want to talk about, do we talk about Twister first and then get into Twisters, or do we do Twisters and then Twister? I think let's simultaneously. Because I thought the movie reeked like an old 3-speed lager can.
It was a tough one.
It was tough. And here's the thing. I think the actors were good.
Too serious for me.
Too serious.
Way too serious. But the first one was fun. It's like
and hot and sexy.
Yeah, and it's just like there's like a little. It's just everyone is aware this is a little bit silly. They're all in the same.
Now this could be a bigger conversation because I fear that the Gen Z movement, the movies, like the way that they're not used to what good films used to be. Like Twister is such a good movie. The stakes couldn't be clearer and more simple. Twisters is like dealing with like climate change, helping communities. Like it was just too much was happening.
Yeah, and then she was a scientist, but like she didn't want to be one anymore because it resulted in like spoiler alert, the death of her friend.
Yeah, this is a spoiler alert. If you're shocked as to what Twisters is about, you may not want to hear our spoilers.
Yeah.
There's not many spoilers because not much really happens. And also, did you think it was weird that like everyone was just kind of telling Daisy Edgar Jones's character to just kind of get over the loss of a substantial group of friends?
Yeah, her friends, her lover.
Which I didn't believe that chemistry for a second.
No, they had a kiss.
That guy was a dweeb.
Yeah. Also, I found
no chemistry.
She was playing
fake Southern,
a younger version of her main self in the movie in an odd way for me. Like it was just slightly like sillier.
Okay, so you were saying that Daisy Edgar Jones's character was like playing a younger version of herself, like in a silly way.
Yeah, like she had yet to be like hardened by the reality of what the Twister can do.
And she is Irish.
Yeah,
and she didn't sound like she was from Oklahoma. I'll tell you that.
It's not my first rodeo.
This isn't my first rodeo.
I can't wrap my head around how a person from she's Irish or British or anything can do an American accent, but I can do a British accent. Like I know what I'm doing with my mouth, but I don't understand what a British person is doing with their mouth.
I know. And the thing about it was like Glenn Powell is a sexual, lovely being. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's been given enough good role. Like he hasn't figured out his thing yet. And I think his like talents were wasted in this film. He was giving his most, but there's something like he just kind of was like organically in the role. Like I believed he was from Oklahoma. She did not seem like a Southern belle.
Yeah, she had to. At one point, she went back home. And by the way, first of all, what a wild reveal. I was like, well, her mother's going to be Helen Hunt. That's what I thought it was going to happen. But then they were like, her mother's Moira Tierney. And I think they wanted everyone in the audience to be like, Moira Tierney?
I know.
My God.
Moira Tierney's pork. First of all, I love her. and she was like the best thing in Iron Claw, but in ER, oh my God, hot, cool. But in this movie, she was just like, honey, get over all those deaths, and why don't you keep chasing those storms?
Yeah.
It's like she had nothing to play. I kept the whole barn of your science experiments in there. Too much. Oh, I've created dust that erases tornadoes. I just have to get into the center of it.
Yeah, don't get me started on the dust. Like, they've done this now. They have this technology now.
Yeah.
It works. But all we need to do in order to rescue these towns from a tornado is have somebody drive 20 tons of it straight into the eye of a tornado.
I know.
Like, is there a person in every town that's going to do that?
We are making it so complicated. This film, so first of all, we've got Glenn Powell, who's playing like the jerky asshole or whatever.
Yes.
Turns out, heart of gold. He actually is a cocky bastard on TikTok or YouTube to raise money to help people who are dealing with the devastation of tornadoes.
Sure.
But they're not really helping them.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really see where the money goes.
We don't see where the money goes, and we don't really see how they're helping anyone, because they're like, a tornado happens in the movie and then they go, we got to go help people, and then there's literally a single shot of Daisy Edgar Jones giving a photo album to a random woman.
Yeah, and
Cool helping.
also, why these three people are they in charge of helping? There's no one in the town that's like, we're here to help.
The original Twister had nothing to do with that, because it's about storm chasers.
Yes.
And that's literally it. The movie starts. Paxton is driving with his new girlfriend or fiance. And she's like, she's just got to sign the papers. Why won't she sign the papers? I don't know. This is so her. Immediate stakes.
Yes.
Then we see Helen Hunt, if you can believe it, as a full babe in a tank top. Cool.
Yeah. And she is traumatized. She needs needs to chase twisters because her father was killed by one, and she's like, I need to understand these.
And you see that in a simple, not even simple, but good scene off the top.
Mm-hmm. Whereas the same thing happened to Daisy Edgar, and she's like, get me away from these twisters.
And now she works for weather.com. It sucked so much. And then Glenn Powell has a truck that he can drill down into the land and hold himself. Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, that's an F5. You know?
That's a yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that. And then he's like, anyways, it was not good and not hot. And then the end is like, a woman solved it. And then two men are like, cool. No sex.
Yeah.
No tension.
There is an odd little wink at the end where they're like, they're waiting for the plane, and then the announcement comes like the plane's delayed because of weather. And then they look at each other. They're like, should we go have sex in the airport bathroom? Like, is that what we're going to do to wait? But no, they're going to chase a storm.
I'm just going to say it. That movie needed a sex scene.
Yeah.
It needed sexual tension, and it needed a kiss, at the very least a kiss. It was boring.
Yeah, it implies that they're into each other. I'd be fine if they weren't into each other, but it's saying that they're like starting a relationship.
And then I watched the original and Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, beautiful chemistry.
They're meant to be.
They're meant to be. And also, I think the movie stars are getting too hot. Because Bill Paxton, I was attracted to him watching Twister, but that is the magic of Hollywood, baby. The fact that I'm going, ooh, Paxton.
Yeah. These guys are everyone's just so hot.
Everyone's so hot. And it's like, you have Philip Seymour Hoffman in that movie.
Yeah, he's
so good.
And they tried to get the like silly sidekicks in the new one, and they just did not hit for me at all.
Well, because we are overcomplicating it. Literally in Twister, it's like, this is Walker, this is Texas, this is Ranger. Walker loves sandwiches and he's crazy. Yeah. Like Texas, oh man, he's divorced and he's trying to get his kids back. And Ranger is just wild. You know, and it's like, she just plainly says that. And we go, okay.
There was also so much yelling acting.
Oh, I know.
Like I was just trying to imagine what the sets were like. Because I don't think that they're hearing tornado sounds like playback. So they must just be screaming at the top of their lungs while it's kind of quiet.
Well, also, I think that there wasn't a lot of practical stunts like there was in the first one. It was all practical, basically. They were like thrown about.
Yeah. It was a tough one. It
was tough.
It had lost. It didn't have any charm for me. And
No, Bryan, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
It had no fucking charm.
it was very American. Like,
Yeah.
there was a lot of American flags, and like she had an American flag vest on at one point, which is an odd thing.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because her wearing that American flag shirt, like she's a down-home farm girl. Okay,
Yeah.
let me paint the scene. She drives home. She's just survived a wreck. She survived a family. Or she saved a family. They all got in a pool because another F5 twister came out of nowhere.
These F5s.
These F5s. And Glenn Powell takes her to a rodeo. And she goes, I used to be a farm girl.
This is not my first rodeo.
Yeah, this is not my first rodeo. So gross. She's uncomfortable in this role, top to bottom. Then all of a sudden the F5 comes. She saves the family. They get in the pool. And then Glenn Powell is standing over her and protects her and the family. And then someone's like, and he goes, that was all Kate. It's like, no, man, you also, okay. It's like the feminine, Then she's like, this is all too much. I got to go home. My friend's deceived me. He's like a corporate shell. I'm going to go home. She drives home. She goes into her mother's fridge, and there's only a brick of cheese.
And a pitcher of water, right?
And I'm like, what's going on with Moira Tierney? And we never talk about it.
No, she made a dinner, a huge dinner. She's like, you're staying for dinner. It's like 8 courses.
It's like, did you go to the store? Like,
all you had was cheese and water.
She goes home and she pours a glass of water from the pitcher that God knows how long that's been there.
Yeah.
And also, what happened to her dad? Where's her dad?
Yeah, no mention of dad.
Just mom, and she hasn't been home in 5 years. And she just goes, Mom, it's me. And her mom's like, okay. You haven't seen your daughter in...
But why weren't they talking? Like, that's the thing that was a little... Like, mom didn't have anything to do with the Twister accident that happened 5 years ago.
In fact, she wants her to really push past it as fast as she can to get back to storm chasing.
Why didn't she want to talk to her mother?
Yeah, and also, why is she going back to weather.com at the end? Like, there was just like... There was nothing... She did not change once. She goes into her room and her mom's like, sorry, it's such a mess. And she moves a cowboy hat. I'm like, whose is that? Who lives with you?
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone, all of the people that are like good in the movie can sense that a tornado is coming by just a slight breeze happens. And they're all just like,
oh, yeah. Well, my favorite is she drives home and she's in her barn with her old experiments, and Glenn Powell literally appears out of nowhere. And she never goes, how'd you get here? How'd you find me? He's just there.
Yeah, it's tough. There's too many. I think about this a lot with movies. I made a video about it once about Rebel Moon, that debacle.
I didn't want. What's Rebel Moon?
It was a Zack Snyder thing that
No,
was
thanks.
on Netflix. It was
Not
very
for me.
bad. Movies that make the audience ask all of these dumb little questions while they're watching them.
Yeah.
That's bad.
What's your favorite like movie kiss, if you were to think about it? Notebook's a great one.
Notebook's a great one. I'm going to give you a real Powerade Zero Sugar Blue answer
Here we
here.
go. If you say Transformers, with
But
Megan Fox.
there's a great kiss in the second Matrix. Okay?
Yeah.
Where when they finally get a moment alone in the elevator and then they start to make out Trinity and Neo. I always love that moment. You know?
I hate everything about that.
You know?
Trinity
and Neo, they fall in love in the first one, and then they get back to Zion, and then they're being hounded by all these people because they think he's the one, and they're like,
See, this is why I really feel like if I could go back in time with my teen self, I'd be like, babe, get into sci-fi, because that's how you're going to seal the deal with these guys.
you got to get into sci-fi.
Because a sci-fi woman is just innately, she's just more sexually appealing.
Yeah.
Because you guys are saying things like Neo instead of
What's
like
his name?
I know, but I'm like Jackson and Lisa, whatever. For my wrong.
Neo and Trinity.
Ugh, God.
Yeah.
There was this guy in my high school and it really creeped me out because he'd always wear a long leather duster from Matrix.
Yeah, that's tough. Tough look at the time as well. Like to stick with
Yeah,
it.
but he always had a girlfriend. Like he was always getting it done, and I was really jealous about that.
Yeah, that type always had
They were just boning it up.
Yeah, they were the goth, like cyber goth.
The cybers were really the cybers were always so successful. So that's just, if you're young and listening to this, I think cyber it up.
Yeah. You got to get in the VR.
Yeah, no one really wants to go to Pound Town when all you want to talk about is how to lose a guy in 10 days.
No, I didn't do it
no
for
one
you.
really cares.
I was big into what was I big? I was big into like high school. I liked like magic cards,
Oh, God,
Warhammer,
yeah. Sure.
and the musical theater.
Well, you kind of sounded British when you said that.
Musical theater. I like three things, darling: magic cards, Warhammer.
Well, we would see each other at the. Well, I couldn't really sing, but I was there. You bet your ass I was there.
Yeah, I mean just hedonism. High school musical.
The high school. I know, but we didn't really have a theater community, so there was like 4 of us, and there was just like one guy. There was like the 2 really popular people in my high school, and then there was me and this other guy, and so there was we did this high school musical, and the teacher casted the 2 hot ones together, and then the 2 uggos, me and the uggo, equally uggo, and then the hot couple said that they both each had like a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and they were like, oh, our boyfriend and girlfriends will get jealous if we have to kiss each other, so to appease their hot partners, they partnered with us. So I got the hot guy.
Yeah,
because he was like, my girlfriend,
and that didn't make the girlfriend jealous.
No, that was
oh my God.
That was his argument. Was like they just wouldn't be jealous.
I'm sorry.
But then I got to kiss the hot guy.
In what show?
It was like a D-list musical that my school could afford.
Yeah.
And then I got to kiss the hot guy. But me and the Uggo did Our Town together and we kissed. And I mean, like, we were both like the loser musical theater people.
That
was my first kiss, was in the play Our Town in high school.
Yeah, it was your first kiss.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Our Town.
Yeah. And he was like, we have to kiss for 30 seconds.
What?
And I was like, that just seems long. I didn't stick to his schedule.
Did the director go with that? They're like, yeah, 30
she was
seconds.
a wild English teacher, She's letting the passion take us.
I just watched a High School Musical not too long ago. I went to one.
Bryan, please tell me, why'd you go to
There
that?
was a reason to go. Okay. I didn't go alone. Someone I knew.
Yes.
It
was a family situation.
No, so my girlfriend knew someone in it.
A kid?
Yes. But in like anyway, it's not like a weird thing. But then, so we just went to the show, and they did 4 productions of it.
Yeah, to be fair, everyone gets a go.
And there were dueling casts.
Yeah, of course. That's what I had.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. There was dueling casts. So like they had the hot guy and the hot girl, and then the 2 like theater nerds, and they split up the hot people and gave us like the theater nerds.
I see.
To them,
Yeah,
so then they would perform one night, we would perform another night.
No, I feel like you should, if your child is choosing the show business life, you immediately have to.
I agree, but it's
tell
not
them
the
how
way.
difficult it is. Like
I know, but they can't. You have to be fair.
I also have a topic here that says water in my ear, because I've had water in my ear for what seems like 2 weeks now, and it's not budging.
Really?
Yeah, it's rolling around and it's driving me up the wall.
Go to the doctor.
What are you gonna do?
Okay, well, we need to discuss this too, because you've already gone pee like 5 times in my house before we even started, and now you've got water in your ear. So this is a great thing to just pop into the doc and say, we're leaking from all ends. Can you give me a stopper, doc?
Oh man, you're like, you pee a lot, and then I said I would tell you how often.
Yeah, tell me how
I
often
pee per
you
day.
Pee. Per day.
In a 24-hour period.
Okay.
20 times.
That's too much.
Once an hour.
Once an hour?
Yeah, once an hour, once every 2 hours kind of thing, probably.
How many times do you go to the bathroom during the movie? Like a movie?
Well, when I have a whole system in place for movies. where I will not have liquids prior to it, leading
What?
up to it. And then I'll have my first pee when I get to the theater. And then like trailer 3, I'll go out and I'll really wring it out. Like I'll try and get out every drop possible.
Bryan.
And yet I'll still have to pee during the film.
Because I feel like if we were together, I would go, that's enough. That's enough.
It's so uncomfortable. I don't know what to do.
You must have a little bladder.
Yeah, it's no doubt. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But I mean, I drink a lot of liquids. Like I'll start the day with half a gallon of water,
Sure. So do I.
cup of coffee, smoothie.
Okay.
So that's a lot, right? It's got to come out somewhere.
Sure.
Some of it gathers in the ear, and then the rest of it, like pizza.
You really got to get that looked at. Have you done the jumping?
I've done the jumping. I've done the suction. I'll show you like a little party trick. This was big in high school.
Oh God, here we go. Ooh, we really have to edit that. That's crazy.
Huge in high school.
You were just probably, how many girlfriends did you have?
I didn't have my first girlfriend until grade 11. In grade 11, I went to a special musical theater school in Alberta. So I was a transplant.
Oh, that's
and so
that's
people
where
were
you get
like,
it. That's where you get
people
it.
were like, "Who's this guy?"
Who's this guy? And then you did that party trick, and she said, "You're coming over here."
Yeah, and then I didn't. It didn't. You know, tough time. I had a lot of girlfriends in that year. A lot of big mess, messy stuff.
You really?
Yeah.
A lot of kissing around.
Yeah, I got mono. Got and gave. Got and gave, baby. So this girl had mono and she was off for so long. And I was dating her sister originally. And then her sister dumped me. And then a few months later, because we were all in a musical together, we went to her house to have a party. And she was upstairs with mono. And I went upstairs for some reason. She was just sitting there.
Okay.
And she's like, sit with me. And eventually we're gonna kiss, and I was like, "Don't you have mono?" And she's like, "No, it's all gone now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you're still off school though?" She's like, "Yeah, just for a little while longer." Riddled with mono. She was riddled.
But she wanted to make out with you.
and she wanted to make out with me, and so I was like, I'm 15, 16 years old. So what am I gonna say? No.
No, of course.
Like she
you're
could
gonna
have,
make out.
her face could have been peeling off. It would have been like, sure. And
So you were dating this woman's sister, this girl's sister.
yeah. And then, but I mean, for like, well, when we say dating, we're talking weeks. We're talking weeks.
Yeah, but you kissed her sister.
Absolutely.
And then you kissed her.
Yeah, I dated both sisters.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You did the switch.
Yeah. She drew me once. She sketched me without a shirt on.
What do you mean?
Well, she was like, she drew. She drew sketches like pastel.
yeah,
and then she's
sure.
like, can I draw you? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, take your shirt off. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So she's got like a black charcoal drawing of me without a shirt on. Maybe. I don't know if she still has it. I think she married the guy she cheated on me with, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's still together. I was
Wait.
devastated at the time. I was crying. I was like, "Ah."
Wait, let's paint the scene. You're in her room, I suppose.
Yeah.
Her parents are allowing the door to be open or closed.
They were never home. I think they
Yes.
were in the process of getting separated. It was messy.
Which was perfect for you.
It was messy, yeah.
It's perfect for
Fun.
you. So then she goes, you know, I'm an artist. This girl also just openly sounds like a freak who stole her sister's boyfriend.
Yeah, there was a little time in between.
So then the other sister's just around the house.
Yeah, she was fine with it. That was really weird. Like, I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, I feel like, I wonder, that family.
I remember one time I bought the first sister I dated. I like bought her a stuffed animal. It's like a huge stuffed animal. And I went over to her house and like waited for her with it. I was like, I got you a stuffed animal. And then she dumped me the next day at school.
So wait, you dated the first sister. You
Yeah.
buy her this huge stuffed animal.
Yeah.
She dumps you right after.
Yeah.
Then you go to a party at her house.
Yeah.
Her sister's up there riddled with mono. Blonde? Brunette. Brunette. And she's upstairs. And then you went, well, I'm here.
Yeah.
And then you locked it in with her.
Yeah. And then we also dated for like a couple of weeks. And I was like, it's the woman I'm going to marry. And I've never been more in love in my life.
And you were madly in love with her.
Yeah.
And then you're hanging out at her house, making out, whatever. And then she goes, I would like to draw you.
Yeah. How would you feel about me drawing you?
First of all, I hate that question.
Yeah.
It was proposed like that.
Yeah.
Hey, What'd you say if I asked?
Yeah, can
to
I
draw
like
you?
I draw? Can I like draw you? Take your shirt off.
Take your shirt off. Again, if I could tell my younger self, I'd be like, be a freak, go full freak.
Yeah.
Go full freak.
Yeah. I remember watching the Oscars with her, the one when Denzel Washington won Best Actor.
Yes.
And
Training day.
Yeah, I remember that.
You were shirtless.
We did that together. I was actually. I believe I was shirtless. Like I'm still a virgin, grade 11. Like I don't think
I just don't like. I mean, I think it's amazing. She was like, take your shirt off.
Well, I mean, what is she going to draw me in a t-shirt, or is she going to draw the exquisite male form?
With charcoal too.
Yeah.
What was playing in the background? Sixpence and the Richer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what
Counting
was playing.
Crows, Long December.
You know what she was. I remember her being
Crash Into Me?
really into. Her favorite song was "Iris" by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Of course. I mean, hello.
Yeah.
Walk to Remember.
Yeah,
That was
she loved the
another
Goo
good
Goo
one, too.
Dolls. Man, she broke my heart, but it was
You only dated a couple weeks.
It was meant to be. I thought it was. I mean, I got real heavy too soon, laid it on real thick with every relationship in high school.
Really?
And they were like, "Get me away from this guy," and I was like, "But isn't this love?"
Yes. Would you say that she is one of your greatest loves? No.
I mean, at the time, I thought my life was
But I'm saying,
over.
like, when you think of the timeline.
I mean,
wow.
I don't know what to say. At the time, I was never more heartbroken in my life. But then that happened to me like 73 more times. Like it just kept happening.
You just like, when you jump in, you're just like full hog, full steam ahead. You're the love of my life. This is it.
And it's high school. So you're like, if you're going to utter the words, "I love you," that means
everything
in the world. Yeah.
I'm saying that as if I even got the opportunity.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah. You need to be the person going to a new school. It's like when you're a stand-up comic and you move to another city, suddenly you're like, this is a comic from Toronto.
Yeah, I don't think I would be like as well received as you. I didn't get my first boyfriend till university.
Yeah, I had girlfriends in grade 11 and then like my first long-term, like serious girlfriend in grade 12. Then I lost my virginity to Titanic. During the movie Titanic.
See, this is why you're a natural born romantic.
Yeah.
Which VHS? The first one or the second one?
Second VHS. I remember distinctly what was happening. It was the part
out, and you had to put. You had to stop, and you had to put the VHS.
It was the part
in.
in the movie where Jack and Rose are at like the bows of the ship and it's flooding, and there's like that little boy that they have to rescue.
Oh God!
Like I'm having sex for the first time while that's happening. And her friend was over too. And we sent her upstairs to like be on the lookout for my parents.
So that the best friend knew.
Yeah, we're gonna bang down here. Can you go upstairs and see if my parents come? And then I don't know what the plan would have been if.
What was that conversation? Okay, we could really go there, but this seems crazy.
Yeah. Then I dated that friend.
I don't like you friend jumping.
Yeah, I mean,
so you lose your virginity to one friend. The other friend's on the lookout for your parents.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you express that to the friend.
I
So
mean,
you guys were clearly making out while watching Titanic. She's there, presumably, just kind of being cool about things.
Yeah, I mean, it's all foggy. We were all smoking pot.
Oh,
so
well,
maybe,
okay, cool. I was like very straight-laced.
Oh, no, we were all smoking pot all the time. You
cool.
know? That's what we did. We were cool as shit, maybe.
420, dude.
Walk on, man. Fucking that grass.
Yeah, wow, that's cool. Yeah, see, I was like very naive and like loved Dirty Dancing and Grease 2 and was very naive about relationships and love.
Yeah, the going to Alberta. It was in Alberta, that musical theater.
It shook
school.
you up.
So the drinking age was lower there, and they had grade 13. So there were people in high school that could legally buy booze.
Yeah, see, that's amazing.
And that really was bad.
The first time I drank, I believe it was prom.
Oh.
I wasn't even tempted. I was like, oh no, the devil's sauce. Oh. And I'm not even religious, and my parents, I gave myself a curfew. They were like, huh? Come back whenever.
Yeah, I didn't.
I wore like kitten heels to, a field party.
It's like those little things at the bottom of Glenn Powell's truck. That's what you do. An F5 comes, you're going to stay right in place.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, fellas, who's ready to court? And they were like, ew.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Wow. We had really different, you were just getting it on with everyone's best friend.
Yeah. Like, it was a weird, like.
No, but you were tall.
Yeah.
And you maintained to be.
Yeah.
But you were tall, into musical theater, also a sci-fi freak. I mean, you're, any taste of the rainbow is really loving what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, it was a novelty.
You were a novelty.
Yeah.
But that must have been it. Curly hair.
Yeah.
Thick.
Goofy,
but silly and fun, likes the piano or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were really giving it to the girls.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. They can be the days now.
No. It does not. It is not the same.
It's so funny because we were, Bryan was in my office today. And I said to you, I was like, you've had this like such a layered life, so many different, nuances to it. And then, but now you're just like sure. Okay. Kind of an easy breezy guy.
A lot of it is a fear of confrontation.
Oh, is it?
I mean, I don't want to really have but also just not being like, it's fine. Like how else are we going to improve on things if we discuss it? Let's just do it.
But I love to discuss it and do it.
All right. Well, we're going to have to find a middle ground.
I know, because I was like, hey, Bryan, do you like this clip? And you were like, sure.
I mean, I think that's more of a testament to how pleasantly surprised I am that you're very good at editing clips together.
Thank you. If you watch the first episode or listen to it, I said Bryan would be editing, and that did not happen. It was me, and I took over. I took over the reins.
And I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Listen, I was like, I'd love to try my hand at editing. I've never edited a podcast before. It might be a fun learning experience. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
But I was really looking for feedback, and you were just like, sure, okay. And then I was like, do you find that this is a problem in your life? Because I think we're about to fight.
Oh, no, I don't find that that's a problem. Well, sometimes it is, where people are like, I didn't want that one piece of positive feedback. I actually wanted you to be critical in this moment.
Well, that's really the nuance, right? It's like when you're talking, especially if you're in a relationship, and it's like, sometimes you're bitching. Sometimes we're just bitching. We don't need the solve. We don't need the fix.
Yeah, that's a big one for me.
That's a big, because you want to fix.
Yeah.
Because it's like, let's not sort of stay erratic. Let's just maybe solve it, and you can shut your little mouth. You're not saying that. That's my projection.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
can we solve the problem right now?
Yeah, I know, but
why on earth aren't we?
Like, can we throw some dust at this fucking tornado and end it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's nothing, as someone who creates daily tornadoes, I can tell you, there's nothing more humbling or embarrassing than creating a tornado. And then the solution is like, well, why don't you just like take a break, or why don't you just call that person, or why don't you just like tell them you're going to be 10 minutes late? And I'm like, because then I would feel better.
Yeah, I'm horrible at that. I'll be like, oh, you should talk to them. That sounds like a community, like, why don't you just, or the worst is like, what you just said to me?
Yeah.
Have you said that to them?
Oh yeah, that's a bad.
And then like you duck and nod.
You have to duck. Yeah. That's not good. Or you go like, if you're really bitching, or you're like gossiping, and then someone's like, well, maybe they're just having a really hard time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You're like,
yeah, that's the I'm sorry you feel that way of like a couples argument. Like, that's the worst. Don't do that. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Or it's like, oh, I actually think they're really nice. You're just like, we're just,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very guilty of being like, have you thought maybe this and this and that is going on in their lives, and that's why they're being that way?
It's like, Bryan, why don't you shut up?
Exactly. One time I was out.
What's out the window so longingly?
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, look, we all got stuff to work on.
But here's the thing. No, it sounds like you're really sorting it out. It actually sounds quite responsible on your side of the fence. Because my thing is, okay, we're together. We go to a dinner party with friends we love. Love them. There's no problem there. We're still sort of driving home going, Denise seemed crazy, right? Or like you say, you know,
Yeah.
everyone does that.
Sure.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think if something is off, you're going to talk about it.
Or not even off where it's like, hey, did you see Greg's TV? That must have been expensive. Or something. You have something to say about everyone's good and bad.
Sure, that's true. I don't just go, wow, that was a great dinner party, wasn't it?
No one does. Isn't that the hell we've created as a society that no one can go?
Yeah.
That was really nice, and I'm glad we made the time.
Well, what else are we gonna? What's next?
You're in the car, and what do?
You talk about what just happened.
Yeah, you're like, dinner was good.
Here's the thing.
Steak was a little dry, but it was really good.
Here's the thing, though, that always makes my skin crawl. If you're doing that about them, they're doing that about you.
I know they are.
They're going,
and as they should. It's
their
their God-given right.
What was that like hat Stacey was wearing? Like, what was it? Like all sorts of stuff like that. And
I know.
So sometimes I think about that and I go, well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to put that energy out in the world. Like if I don't say something about other people, maybe they're not saying something about me, which is wrong.
No, it's right, Bryan. It is right, but when you're in the eye of the relationship tornado, that'll get me going.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think you're better than everyone else, or something?
I was with a couple once, and
it was me.
There was a moment where somebody was talking about something that happened in the day, and then one member of the couple went, "Are you wanting some advice from me right now, or would you just like me to listen?" And I'm like, "Fuck, that's good."
It's good, but hearing it out loud sounds really lame.
But it's also like very necessary, and I wish I did that.
But
I admire it.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
It's healthy, but it's like gentle parenting, right? It's like, in theory, it's great, but when like Joshua is like screaming in the sandbox, and it's like, are you just feeling your feelings, Joshua? Or it's like, maybe we have to just don't give the baby its bottle, you know?
It's true. That's something to work on. Well, I had so many other topics, but...
Do you have any last topic?
I got water in my ear, frozen burger patties.
What about that?
Tuna salad man.
What's tuna salad man?
I was just going to... it's a longer story. You want to do it?
Go for it.
I was saying... My girlfriend had to go to the ER on the weekend. She's fine.
Brag.
We sat in the ER for a long period of time, and she's
okay.
Everything's okay, and everything's fine. An old man walks in the ER. He's got a visitor's badge on. He's with his wife or something, and he goes up to the front desk, like nurse at the front, and is like, "Is it okay if I eat a tuna salad sandwich in here?" For everyone in a packed ER. There's sick people. There's like moaning people.
But he knew he shouldn't, because why is he asking for permission?
Right.
And also, who wants to eat tuna salad amongst the sick?
This guy, because this woman goes, yeah. She spoke for everyone in that ER.
And said, yeah, you can.
Yeah. And he just sat down and he unpacked a tuna salad sandwich out of tinfoil.
He brought it from home?
Brought it from home and just started eating the smelliest, like old
that's
tuna salad
despicable.
sandwich in the whole ER smelled like tuna. And the idea that this guy was oblivious to that, it's fascinating to me.
No, how old is he?
In his 60s, 70s, maybe.
Easily.
He pointed to the specimen cups, right? You know what I mean? In an ER, like those little paper cups. He goes, "Are those for coffee?" And then the nurse goes, "No." And he goes, "All right." And then he sits down. And while he's eating his tuna sandwich, he takes out, you know those cans of Monster energy drink?
This is like, obscene.
I know, it is obscene. I loved it, though. That are big. Like they're the big cans of Monster with the twist off top. So he's got that with cellophane on top of it, and then the twist off. And the cellophane is like, there's a lot of it.
So he's protecting, he doesn't want to lose a drop.
Of his coffee that he drinks like that, like he drinks just out of an old Monster energy tin while he's eating a tuna salad sandwich in the ER. It's illegal what this man was doing. You go to jail for this.
Who was he visiting?
I think he was there with his wife needed to go to the ER. He was there.
Where's his wife?
I don't know. She was like in a room. I feel like he does this a lot. That's like why he was ready. But there was a guy next to him that was like, oh, like doubled over, sick and moaning. And he's just like, oh, it's eating tuna salad and drinking coffee out of a Monster tin. And it's madness.
You know that he's now currently on the toilet somewhere, just grappling with the shower curtain.
Yeah, like Queen Liz.
R.I.P. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, Bryan?
No, I think we got lots of topics next time.
We have so many topics. I can't believe episode 2 is done.
I love it.
What's your feedback on this?
I was a little bit worried that we did the first one and then the second one would be tough, but this is just breezy and nice.
It's breezy and nice, and
Yeah.
thank you for the feedback.
Yeah. I was like, what? I don't know. It's always the second ones of things is always tough.
The second one of things, but I think we touched on a lot of great topics. We got to talk about Tuna Man, Beer Guy.
Yeah.
We had a lot of
Yeah.
interactions. Glenn Powell,
Yeah.
that sexy little man, and your sort of love of friends and sister swapping.
He's short, Glenn Powell. He seems short in that movie, right?
They're all short. This is why
Movie stars are short with big heads.
I
And
know.
that's why I'm worried.
the lollipop head.
Yeah.
No, but you're a big guy, which is good. We want that.
It's like a Vince Vaughn.
Exactly.
Big fella.
Big fellow. Love. Attractive man.
Yeah.
Wedding Crashers, he's
Yeah.
unstoppable in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
So you get to be tall, and that's why the sisters allowed the jump.
Yeah. But like much like this episode, the second one is being a little tougher than the first one. That second sister broke my heart. She did.
I think she might be one of the greater loves of your life.
I hope she's happy. I really do. I mean, I honestly, I think I haven't checked into it, but I think she's still with that guy.
Well, we're going to go offline and we're going to do a little deep dive, and we'll just give a very vague update that no one asked for next week.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll be in pants, but I don't know. We don't know what sort of energy we're both going to be bringing.
Yeah, I have a third pair of these pants, so I'm just going to wear those. They're green.
Great. And I hope you please take these Powerades back to your home.
Yeah, I'm going to drink them on the walk down. I'm going to get a roti and I'm going to
Oh my God. Everyone pray for Bryan's ass.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
It's Stacey and it's Bryan.